For Cyclones TV, I'm Nick Brunker with the assistant coach of the Cyclones, Matt Macdonald. Today it was announced that the Cyclones have added defenseman Chris Reed for the 2013-14 season. I guess we'll start there and ask you kind of what does he bring to this next year's club on the blue line?
Consistency. He was a guy last year with a great plus-minus, a guy that, throughout the year we put him in against all the top guys on the other teams, and he was able to keep it going. And, what he brings to the team also is a lot of maturity on and off the ice. He's the kind of guy that you got to have, need those kind of guys in your change room, and you need those guys that will take care of their change room when it needs to be done. And like I said, consistency is the big word with him. He played every night like it was a do-or-die game, and that's what we loved about him. He put a lot of pressure on the other team, and at the same time, he contributed offensively when he could.
You mentioned stability. He had a plus 26 rating. It was 6th in the ECHL, of course, led the team. This is a guy who has really come into his own after having missed half a season in his first year when he was hit by Chaz Johnson. He had a concussion and didn't come back. So talk about what that type of a statistic means, because a lot of times that's one of those numbers that a lot of people don't really pay much attention to as a casual fan.
Well, if you do well at it, if you have a good one, everybody likes it. But if it's not very well, then you have reasons to go against. But, for him, I looked at it as that plus 26 or however many it was throughout the year was a big thing for him and a big thing for us. So, I think that him having that kind of number and getting the chances in the American League like he did last year, if he can bring that back again this year, he'll be up for more games and, be a staple possibly on any American League team.
That's one of those things, too. You talk about Reed's numbers in the American Hockey League. He had 8 games with 3 different teams collectively in the American League a year ago. And I talked with a lot of different coaches around the league about this over the years, and they kind of say that third year as a player in this league is one of those staple years, a make or break, if you will. Not to say that if he doesn't make it up to the American League this year on a regular basis, they'll never make it. But at the same time, this is where you're going to try to prove your worth and weight as you move forward in your career, right?
Yeah, no, definitely. Your third year is very important because, a lot of people look at it, coaches look at it as, that's a year that you really come into your own and, you're comfortable, what needs to be done at this level. And that that's the year for me is that if he's going to succeed and he's going to lead, that's going to be the year for it. And I think that he already proved himself last year, and if he can continue on this year, there wouldn't be any reason for him not to be up.
And talk about his leadership ability, too. Defensemen oftentimes are kind of the quarterbacks, if you will, making a football analogy for any breakout plan. It starts from below the goal line, for you at least, and moves through the neutral zone and up, obviously, into the offensive end. For a guy like that who can also lead on the ice, he's also a pretty good leader off the ice, too, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of those quiet leaders. He's not the most vocal guy in the room, but he does he lead by example, and I think he shows that on the ice and off the ice. He's a mature kid. He's one of those guys that players gravitate towards. He's a very friendly, happy kid with a positive attitude, and it's somebody that you need those guys. You need guys that can, when you're down maybe a couple games, you lose a couple games in a row, he's still an upbeat person that can get guys back on the wagon. So he's definitely brings a lot of maturity in that level, and that's a good thing about having him back, and that's why it was a must. It was a staple to get Chris Reed back on our team next year, and it's great to have him.
Thanks for the time as always.
Oh, thank you.
That's Cyclones assistant coach Matt Macdonald. I'm Nick Brunker, and this is Cyclones TV.